Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Choujin X Chapter 9. When we last left our heroes in the aftermath of the fight with Nari, Tokyo had largely returned to normal, and so he was able to get a bit of an introduction into just what Choujin are, and how Choujin kind of function in society. We learned a lot about the classification system of different Choujins, how at one level you're not allowed to do anything, and another you can have to save others or accidental usage of Choujin powers, and then another you have more free reign to use your powers. We also had this conversation with Sandak, asking both Ellie and Tokyo sort of questions about themselves, what's good, what's evil, their friends and enemies, and we got really hung up on the question of how do you want your life to benefit yourself, was the question, or what are your dreams? And Tokyo was kind of struck by the fact that he did not have any dreams. Compared to Ellie, who was like, I want money, I want to be rich, I want a good husband, that's my goal. So yeah, that's sort of where we left off, with Tokyo kind of pondering if it's alright to not have any dreams. And we'll see where all that leads him in the future. So let's dive right on into Chapter 9, Sinker Part 1, Grounder Boy. And we open with an image of, the Choujin serum syringes. And then we cut to Tokyo watching TV on a really old TV. Kaibashira Private High School is in the lead, 2-1 over Sura Prefectural. It's the top of the third, and Suru High is batting. So he's watching a baseball game. I did read the little blurb on the Shonen Jump app for this chapter. I'm a little excited for this chapter, but we'll see as we go on. With runners on second and fourth. And second year Higashi is up at bat. Oh, is Azuma on the baseball team? But baseball isn't his only passion. Higashi's also in the basketball, soccer, and shogi clubs. What a busy kid keeping up with so many clubs. Tsuruhai is sorely in need of a run right now. I mean, it's only the third inning. It's not that bad. Top of the third, 2-1. They're losing, but they're not exactly in a dire strait. Tsuruhai is sorely in need of a run right now. Kaibashira's ace is known for his 155km/h fastball, which I don't need to convert that to miles per hour to know is a lot. So the pitcher throws the ball, Azuma gets ready, and he hits it. It goes flying. He hit it. It's grazed the top of the pitcher's head. That's gotta hurt. Tsuruhai makes a comeback. And we see, by the end of the third inning, they've still lost. 4-5, Kaibashira wins. I guess it's just a 3-inning game? Is that how high school baseball works in Japan? Okay. Well, close but no cigar. In the end, the tables were turned on Tsuruhai yet again. Kaibashira is such a strong team. Tsuruhai's summer season entered them in the top 16. But by golly, that sure was a comeback. Higashi's only in his second year, so we can expect more where that came from next year. We're sort of more people fawning over Azuma. That bit about, we can expect more where that came from next year kind of leaves me pondering where Azuma's as of yet unrevealed Choujin status will leave him next year, because he did take that serum back in Chapter 1. Anyway, we cut to a motel. Someone's carrying a suitcase, probably Azuma, on his way home. But then we see... Oh, I think these are the bad guys from the end of last chapter. Because last chapter ended on these two kind of cleaners picking up after Nari. One had an octopus face, Cthulhu sort of thing. And one had these origami dogs. An octopus man size. Looks like they couldn't manage with just Higashi. Tsuruhai doesn't have the right players. And we see the woman cutting up her origami dogs. And the bell rings. They still had last year's ace. Things would have been different. The way they're talking about all this is, having read that blurb, knowing that let me pull it up and read it. Can Choujin play baseball with normal people is the question the little notification asks. Apparently, Choujin baseball is going to be a thing. Anyway, he goes on. He was a pitcher named Shiozaki. Pitched a mean ball, that one. He had this high-speed sinker, one strikeout after another. And then the woman asks, what is a sinker? It's a ball that sinks with a pitching arm. Don't you know baseball, Ume? And Ume asks him, what happened to that pitcher? And Octopus Guy just goes on, he turned into a Choujin in the middle of the Koshien tournament. Okay. So there we go, baseball and Choujin together in one neat package right there. And then we see him, Tezuya Shiozaki. He's still in high school. He's still a third year at Tsuru High. Former member of the baseball club. Choujin can't play against normal people. Wasted potential, if you ask me. And we see the word Choujin by Tezuya. The way that question is framed, or that statement is framed, Choujin can't play against normal people. Wasted potential, if you ask me. I kind of wonder, is this going to go the route of, like, the Meta Liberation Army in academia? Where, like, you know, these guys, the masked man and his organization, are sort of railing against the restriction and classification system we saw last chapter. I don't know. As with most of my Choujin videos so far, a lot of wild speculation as I just try to work out where this series is going. But either way, we just see Tezuya kind of think about the word Choujin and just sort of stand there as the birds kind of fly around him. And then we see what looks like some kind of posters. Like we see two people. One is clearly Octopus Man, and one, just by pairing them together, I'm assuming is Ume. But she doesn't really look a whole lot like Ume, as we know her, is blonde and doesn't really look like a middle schooler. Not black hair in the middle schooler. But I don't know. We see that Tokyo is wandering by these posters. An octopus, and this guy appears behind him. They're wanted posters. Those ones have bounties on their head. Ririka Umezawa, the paper cutout Choujin. So there's her full name, Ririka Umezawa. Involved in over 100 crimes, including the Minami bank robbery. She was the mastermind of that 100 million heist. Richard, which is our octopus friend, also known as Ricardo. Likely a tentacle Choujin. He primarily works as a bodyguard for criminals and acts as extra muscle on raids. He betrayed the Tagakoro group, a large crime organization in Yamato, and killed all their members. So here's the interesting thing. With Ume, she's the paper cutout Choujin. Whereas Richard is likely a tentacle Choujin. Like, that's not as firm a classification for him as it is for Ume. And again, like, I'm trying to work out how much of this is just random and how much of this is little seeds of world building that we should be picking up on. Either way, then we see Simon, and I think this is Tezuya. Mr. Sato, I brought him. I guess Sato was the guy with Tokyo. And Sato sees him, hey, Shiozaki. And Tezuya kind of like lifts his hat. Hi. See you, Kagemura. And Sato walks away, leaving Tokyo there. Or no, leaving Simon as Kagemura. Leaving Simon there. The two of them walk off, actually. If I'm reading this right. And then I think this is Tokyo talking to Simon. Who was that? Ichiro Sato, Master Sandak's #1 protege. Next to him is Tezuya Shiozaki, a Choujin, who's come in for his periodic eval. If I remember correctly, he's from Tsuru High, like you. And Tokyo kind of shocked. He's from Tsuru High? He used to be. So I guess he dropped out when his Choujin status was revealed. Anyway, just then Ellie arrives. Oh, Tokyo! And so the three of them all head to class. Tokyo asks, so what's this video learning thing all about? The fundamentals. You'll learn about keeping your powers in check and their dangers. And Tokyo presses their dangers. And Simon just responds, all powers come with dangers. And then Ellie stops and stares at his billboard. Tokyo asks, what's up? And we see Ellie's eyes are just gleaming. You think Yamato Mori makes money? And we just sort of leave it at that. As we come to an evaluation room with Sato and Shiozaki. How is life going for you, Shiozaki? And he responds, not much has changed. Have you used your powers? I haven't. I don't have anything good to use them for. I see. And then Sato goes on, oh yes, the Koshien tournament is going on right now. Your alma mater was in it. And Shiozaki kind of looks away. Ah, right, it was. I don't watch baseball anymore. He's kind of nervously tapping his feet and curious if that's a sign of anything. I've lost interest in it. Haha. Or if he's kind of... Or if it, like, is it something suspicious, the feet tapping? Or is this like, this is a touchy subject, he doesn't really want it brought up? I don't know. We'll see as this goes on. But then we see sometime later, I think this is Shiozaki walking the halls. He sighs, thinks back to Sato. I can't stand that guy. Feels like he's looking down on me. Okay, so... that could be evidence that he's going to end up betraying Yamato Mori for a mystery masked man. But then he sees Tokyo at the bus stop. And the two of them sort of acknowledge each other. They kind of nod at each other. They don't know each other. And they very clearly sit on opposite ends of the bus station. And then Shiozaki says, "So you're from Suru High?" Yeah, that's right. And then they still just kind of sit there. That's the only bit of conversation they get. The bus arrives. They're like on opposite corners of the bus. We can just like Shiozaki's kind of chill about this, like leaning on the window. Tokyo is so uncomfortable, and you can just tell. But then we see your big bro's home, and we see it looks like he's on a rooftop or something. Shiozaki, I mean, and we see these two kids just lying on the roof, and then he gets a ping on his phone. And we see there's a car down on the ground, calls up to him, "Yo, Tezuya." And Tezuya's actually inside. Actually, I thought he was on the roof. I might just be misreading that. I think I am, looking at it again. But anyway, Shiozaki tells them, "I'll be right down." And he's just chatting in the car with this guy. It might be Azuma, actually. Maybe? I think like they would know each other from the baseball team, I think. Because Azuma would have been a first... Like, Azuma and Tokyo were second years, right? So Azuma would have been on the team last year with Shiozaki. I don't know. Did you see Young Sunday? Just Monami's pinup. Did you read this week's Magic Human? I stopped in the Magic Blade arc. They're talking manga now. Today's game was with Kai Bashira. That Suru High hit right back at the pitcher was awesome. You mean number 10s? Yeah, I saw that. And that was like it's a whole group in like bunny masks. The shared mask thing is a sure sign of crime. All right, let's do this. And then it's the next morning, and Tokyo is listening to the news. The contents of Akizawa Bank Vault in Minami were stolen yesterday. A large hole was discovered in the vault's floor. The Yamato Prefecture Police believe the hole may have been created by a drill. They are currently investigating. So yeah, Shiozaki's doing crime. Good for him, honestly. Steal more stuff from banks. This is not legal advice. If there are any legal repercussions, I'm not actually suggesting that you rob things. But yeah, Shiozaki is doing the very bad thing of stealing. They're currently investigating. And Tokyo is just sort of watching, not really paying much attention, and gets ready for school. I'm headed out. And his sister asks, "To Azuma's?" "No, to the secret agent." "Oh, that key witness thing." And we see Tokyo has to like run for the bus, barely makes it, and he's at Yamato Mori now. And this lesson is kind of given by Maiko, it looks like. Maiko's like asleep. It's just a video presentation. Mr. S is a Choujin and has accidentally injured a normal person with his powers after becoming very upset. Mr. S may be tried as a Choujin, or under ordinary human laws. Or he may be tried under both sets of laws. Maiko is like fully passed out. Ellie's kind of dipping. She is not really... Like, she's like 10. She's not really equipped to listen to these like intricacies of the law. Tokyo's awake, though. And then sometime after class, Ellie calls out to Tokyo. "Tokyo, could you teach me how to use the phones?" And Tokyo does, like an old-style rotary phone. Which ties in with the stuff about... Ties in with what I was saying about the TV earlier, which is a very kind of like 70s looking TV. Now we've got these rotary phones, but he pays for it by card, by like a tapping card, not like a swiping credit card. A kind of newfangled tap card. It's an interesting bit there. But anyway, Ellie calls someone. "Hello, it's me. It's Ellie. It's been awful busy. They showed us another video today. I'm putting in the effort. How are you, Grandpappy? How are the fields?" So we see Ellie is being upfront about her status as a Choujin with her grandfather, unlike Tokyo, who is hiding it from everyone he can. But anyway, we see the two of them after the call. Tokyo and Ellie are chatting. "You don't have a card, Miss Ellie?" "I don't. You can use it for calls and shopping." I don't expect to be in Yamato forever. Can't use him in Gaga. And Tokyo responds, right. Was that your grandfather? Yeah, huh? Looks like he's doing dandy. Said his back's doing better. I gotta get back quick so I can help out. And then Tokyo asks a much more serious question, tying back in with last chapter. Is your dream to get rich because of your grandfather? And Ellie just kind of casually responds, that's part of it. Since I'll be happy if everybody around me is happy. And then Tokyo kind of responds, yeah. And Ellie looks back at him kind of glumly. Are you worried about the thing I said at the bus stop? And Tokyo kind of looks up. I just was wondering if you're really going to have dreams. And Tokyo gets kind of annoyed. I really don't want to talk about this. You know, it's all right even if you haven't got a dream. But feeling guilty ain't going to do you any good. You can be open about not having any. And Tokyo looks at her, you think so? I really think I don't have dreams. And I have no idea how I hope to benefit from my life. But I'm going to try to find out, so maybe I'll be open about not having a dream. And Ellie kind of nods like she's so wise. And then she opens her eyes. Oh. Speaking of finding things, would you come help me look for something real quick? And then we come to Minami City in the Akisu ward, Minami City being where that bank heist was. And we see Ume's little cutout dogs. And it kind of barks at something, and she picks it up. Oh no! No, Shiozaki picks it up. A dog? And it shocks him. Whoa! And he squashes it. And, oh no, he gets the tingle. The Choujin sense. That just now. Was it Choujin's? Gross. And that kind of goes away. Better for me to keep out of it. Being involved in one thing is already enough for me. And he goes to get a soda from the vending machine. And then it doesn't work or something? Huh? What? This thing doesn't take cash? And we see it requires another one of those cards, which is oddly becoming more and more relevant. I feel like there's something up with this technology. I called out the old-style rotary phones and the old-fashioned TV, and that's side by side with these ever-encroaching smart cards. There's something going on there. No idea what, but there's something. It's just cards everywhere now. Come on. And Shiozaki kind of looks around for a second, and then he flips his coin, and it lands on the ground in front of the vending machine, and the vending machine, collapses into the ground. And Shiozaki kind of looks around, and from the wreckage of the vending machine, he pulls out his soda. All right. But Tokyo and Ellie saw him. And Shiozaki's not super happy about that. Okay, so let's take a look at this chapter. I will admit, I thought that this would be a chapter about a baseball game, not loosely about a baseball player. I was a little disappointed. I thought it was going to be a really fun time, like the JJK baseball episode kind of thing. Though admittedly, we not quite spent anywhere near as much time with these characters as being spent by the JJK cast by then. But anyway, this is really a chapter that's floating a lot of interesting ideas, but none of it's really gone anywhere yet. You know, we have all this weird stuff about the technology, we have more introductions to Ume and Richard, we have Shiozaki, who given the chapter of the title, Sinker Part 1, I imagine is going to be a big part in the next, at least one more chapter, if not several more. Given that this is a part 1, Grounder Boy could tie to, he's been, by being a Choujin, he's kind of grounded from baseball, maybe, and that sort of has, as he was a star baseball player, has probably negatively impacted his life. Maybe it's why he turned to crime. Maybe he just thought crime was fun. Why not do it? But maybe it's more of a hard knock life kind of thing. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely something going on with Shiozaki. He's definitely not a part of our mystery organization, as he is unaware of Ume's dog things, as we see at the end. But yeah, he's definitely up to some crime stuff, as he uses his power to sort of steal a Coke. Interestingly enough, he only steals the soda once he can't pay for it. So he's not just stealing things for fun. It's only like, not quite necessity, but a step below just plain convenience, which is interesting. It characterizes him in a specific way, and I'm not quite sure what that characterization would lead to. But it's definitely leading to something. But then, yeah, we have more of Tokyo and Ellie. As Tokyo sort of is accepting the idea that he doesn't have any dreams. He doesn't know what he wants out of life. He's kind of aimless for now. And he doesn't say, like, what he doesn't say is, he doesn't say that he's going to find a dream. But looking at this last exchange again, I have no idea how I hope to benefit from my life, but I'm going to try to find out. So I think he is, in a way, kind of looking for a dream. It's a healthier angle than, say, anything Kaneki had going on in part 1 of Ghoul. But, you know, it's a nice little character beat. I was expecting that drama to play out a hell of a lot longer than it apparently has. But Tokyo is just kind of getting better, I think. I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase that, actually. Because it's a little bit too fast to talk about him getting better, I think, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Either way, Tokyo is accepting himself and also wants to improve himself, which is a nice little combo. But now he's seen Shiozaki abuse his powers, admittedly in a very minor way. I'm curious if Tokyo will connect that to the bank heist. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But either way, Shiozaki's about to get outed. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And yeah, we'll see how all that plays out next time. All in all, this was a fun little chapter introducing us to some more characters and, you know, just putting Tokyo and Ellie in a bit of a situation they'll have to work through very soon. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!